I'm in my head, I'm imagining a, a public transit, like maybe a bus with turbo boosters behind it. So once you get on the bus and the doors are shut, hello, IELTS writers. Welcome to IELTS Juice. Let's start assessing a letter today. The rubric says, you are moving to a new country. Wow, that's fascinating news. Write a letter to the accommodation agency to rent a house. Oh, there's an accommodation agency over there, and you want to rent a house. Let's see how it goes. In your letter, describe yourself and your family. Who wouldn't like to talk about themselves and their family? I mean, come on. Can it get any better than this? You get a chance to talk about yourself at the IELTS test. Imagine that. This is just awesome. It's a perfect opportunity to just talk about yourself and your family. Anyway, next part. Which area you would like to live in? Okay, so you're going to a new country, and of course there are different cities and towns, and for each town or city there are different areas and sections and regions. So you might want to be more specific and tell us where you would like to live in. And finally, and what facilities you need in the house. Oh, that's beautiful. So the facilities you actually want to see inside the house. Well, that's interesting. It doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be under the roof. Maybe it's in the garden. If you're looking for a house. If it's an apartment, yeah, it's basically it, except if there are gyms and swimming pools, again, in the area, in the common area for the residents. But in general, whatever your house includes. Let's move on. I'm excited. I want to see what the writer has written for us. Dear Sir / Madam, obviously, we don't know who the agency's manager is or the representative is, so that's fair. My name is Dina Adams. Nice name. And I need a little comma here, because the first sentence has this as its subject. My name is the subject. And this one is the individual. So the subjects are different. We need a comma before and I will move to Sydney with my family next month. Okay. A very good choice, by the way. Sydney, beautiful city. I am writing this letter to inquire about the types of accommodation in the city center of Sydney. I need a the here. Or you can say in Sydney's city center. Yeah, Central Business District or CBD. But this one works if you just want to add one the the here, then yeah, you would have a complete sentence. You will have a complete phrase here. So before I move on, guys, I want to say that this is a very good introduction. It's very formal because we're writing a formal letter. We're talking to the manager of a rental company that rents or puts houses for rent and probably sale. We don't know that here. I'm just speculating. For sale, and this company has a manager. We don't know. This is probably our first interaction with these people in this company in Sydney, and it has to be formal. And so far, I am very pleased with the introduction. It's formal, it's to the point, it has the etiquette that it needs for a formal letter. As I said earlier, my family and I are moving to Sydney since my husband got a job offer from a prominent company in Sydney. Beautiful. Beautiful. So the family is the lady. So Dina is a female name. And with her husband, they're moving in to Sydney. He refers to the husband, is an experienced web designer who has done several enterprise projects. I love the word enterprise here. Besides, there is more. I have been working as a chief in a gourmet restaurant in Tehran for 3 years. Okay, a chief or a chef? I have no way of knowing this. Let me carry on. So I hopefully can find a job in Sydney, as I heard there are some vacancies for chiefs. Oh, what can I do, guys? I mean, let's put it in a real scenario. I am talking to an individual who I have never met in my entire life, and he is from another country. I am from another country. I'm writing a letter to this individual. It has to be formal because it's an organization. And I tell them that I am a chief of a restaurant. I mean, I'm a manager of a restaurant, or I'm a chef of a restaurant. Which one? I don't know. And I will never know because the writer is not there. I know you're probably shouting at your screen telling me that, no, it's definitely a chef. We know Sydney needs more chefs. They don't need managers. They need chefs. I know. I hear you. I believe you. And I believe the writer wanted to say chef. But this word is also correct and is giving me another message. And I am not allowed to look at my understanding and just fill in the gap and assume that the writer wanted to tell me this. The way to assess is to look at the facts, and the fact says that we will never know if the writer wanted to say that she was a chief or a chef at a restaurant. That's a confusing word. This means the vocabulary will drop below 6. Definitely. That's sad. Apart from this, I really like this first body paragraph. Look at the paragraph. The organization is very good. The arrangement of sentences, the flow of the message between sentences from one sentence to another is very clear. We first introduced to her husband, and then we talked about her husband and her job and his job, what he does, and his accomplishments, and then we went back to talk about her and her position at a restaurant for 3 years in Tehran, and we now have the entire package of the family. It's a family of 2. The information is there, and this is just beautiful. We're looking for a furnished house in the suburb, away from the hustle and bustle of the city. Yay! That's so nice. You see, to live in suburbs away from the hustle and bustle of the city. Good. Very good word choice. Very nice opening to the second body paragraph. Obviously, it's obvious. Obviously, this type of accommodation may be pricey, but we prefer to live somewhere without any traffic congestion. No traffic at all. Moreover, a 2-bedroom house, I need a hyphen here because that's a compound adjective. A 2-bedroom house is preferable for us as my mom My mom may come and visit us regularly. Okay, so remember, guys, we were supposed to talk about the facilities in the house, and we just heard that it has to be furnished and it has to be a two-bedroom house. Being a two-bedroom house is not necessarily a facility. That is not generally a facility. Being furnished is or can be considered a facility, but we just, of all the opportunities to show off our vocabulary range, we only have the word furnished. We don't have other words like, I don't know, air conditioner, probably. And, well, maybe access to parking. Parking is considered a garage or garage. Both pronunciations, again, are fine. That can be considered a facility. If it has a shed, it's a small cabin, or it doesn't. We don't know. I mean, that's the preference. But we could show off our vocabulary here, but we only use furnished and maybe two-bedroom. That's just a lost opportunity for me. This is a very good paragraph, but there is room for improvement. Third body paragraph. I have checked the outskirts of Sydney to find a suitable place for us to live. Okay, it seems that Manly area, the Manly area, you could simply say Manly without the word area, but if you are going to use the word area with Manly, you should say the Manly area, is appropriate for us as the location has powerful public transport, has a powerful public transport network. Network is a countable noun, so you need to say a. And it's usually one. You need one network. It's very hard to find a city with multiple networks in just one region. So a powerful public transport network. I love the word powerful. I never thought of public transport to be powerful. In my head, I'm imagining a public transit, like maybe a bus with turbo boosters behind it. So once you get on the bus and the doors are shut, the bus driver with a hat on, clicks on the button and the bus will just go from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds. I'm just joking, guys. Again, this is just my imagination. Anyway, let's continue. I would be grateful if you could send me. I would be grateful if you could. That's the polite way to structure it. We use second conditional with modal verbs to make sure that if you don't do that, that would still be okay. But we would appreciate it if you could send us the information. If you kindly decide to do so, we would be very, very happy. That's the meaning of it. If you could send me some information about the prices for renting a place in the above mentioned location, I need the hyphen here. So basically, you want me as the agent to give you two-bedroom apartment prices in the Manly area located in the outskirts of Sydney. And it has to be furnished. Very good, but I still need to write a letter and ask you to give me a list of priorities. For instance, do you have any kids? Should the house be close to a church or a kindergarten, or maybe a school, a high school, a junior high school, or just a high school? We don't know. So the information is there and the development is there, but there are still instances, there are some key, tiny, yet critical elements left from this letter that needs explanation. Looking forward to hearing from you. That's a very good formal way, polite, more importantly than formal. It's very polite to respond in this way. Yours faithfully. Again, this valediction is very polite, very good. I am digging, meaning I'm enjoying every line, every word, every sentence here. 225 words. Let's check the band descriptors, and I wasn't expecting anything less than 8. Yes, it's not 100% as I just explained. I needed some key elements there. That's, again, you see guys, the difference between 8 and 9 is not huge. But if you want the full score for your task achievement, then yeah, you need to make it as thorough and with as many details as possible. Coherence and cohesion, everything looks great. I don't really need to say anything. The paragraphing was, again, very good. The organization was logical, and even the progress between the paragraphs, not all of them, but especially in 1-2 instances, the flow between sentences were so natural and correct and beautiful. The range of devices, yeah, I mean, this is 7. There's no overuse. The problem is that to get a 9, the use of discourse markers should be 100% natural. The word "it's obvious" or "obviously," I don't remember which version it was. That was a little bit not very natural, not very suitable in this context. Again, this is just a very small difference between a very good number and the best number or the best score here. Yeah, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Chief or chef? One word is confusing, and the word was critical in my understanding. So you can see that I am still confused whether it is chef or chief. It is probably 95% chef, but there's a 5% possibility that it might be something else, so you will never know. The writer's message is not 100% conveyed, and the message is not fully conveyed, so that's an issue. Grammatical range and accuracy, 7. You can see that the errors are minimal. I mean, there were very occasional errors. The problem was not a problem. I mean, I don't like the word problem here, because the range of grammatical styles was definitely varied. But for a wide range, maybe 1 or 2 more complex structures should be there, which is not now, or could have been there, but they're not there. All in all, guys, I absolutely loved reading this letter. I hope you enjoyed reading it as well with me. You see, this in a real scenario can convey up to 90-95% of the writer's message to the agent in Sydney. And this, in a real scenario, is considered a very, very, very good sample. If it weren't for that mistake with chief chef, this would have been 7. Maybe this could get, this would definitely become 7, and it could get to 7.5 very easily. So we just need accuracy. It's always better to be clear than clever. On that note, I wish you a lovely day.